war rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and our FLGS partner, Warpfire Minis. Baron of Dice is the exclusive dice supplier for Season of War. Take a look through their incredible designs or even get your own custom dice made.
Hello and welcome to Season of War! Today we are excited to bring you another game of Age of Sigmar. My name's Jordan. We've got Fancy Ridge here tonight.
What's up everybody, how's it going?
And diving right into things, the mission we're playing today is Border War. So we've got 4 objectives on the table. It's got a different scoring system with you getting 1 point for your home objective, 2 points for each of the flank objectives, and then 5 points if you score your opponent's home objective. That is capped at a maximum of 6 points for the primary per turn though, 4 points for battle tactic as normal. And then for the underdog bonus on this one, if you are on the charge and contesting your opponent's home objective, you get +1 to hit, so it helps you potentially take their home objective back a little easier. But that's it for the mission. Ridge, do you want to take us through your Nurgle list?
Yes, I do. So, we are playing a Plague Cyst list today, so what that does is give me an extra mortal when I'm rolling my disease at the end of the turn from the second battle round on. And there are some furry little friends here with a little Skaven regiment in here as well. So the list is, the general is this Great Unclean one, which kind of looks like the Maggotkin, but it is not. This is a Great Unclean one actually, so you're mistaken. He is the general. He's going to have the Wither Stave, which gives me a 4-up strike last when you charge him, as well as the Gift of Febrile Frenzy, which is going to give +1 to movement, wholly within 12 of him, of things that don't fly. In his regiment, we have a unit of 10 Plague Bearers, we have a unit of 5 Blight Kings, and we have a unit of 3 Plague Drones. And then in my second regiment, I have the Lord of Plagues, which gives +1 to charge to units around him, and as well an extra attack to the Blight Kings that are wholly 12 of him as well. And in his regiment, he just has 1 big brick of 10 Blight Kings. And then lastly, we have the Volt Claws, whatever it's called. It's the Regiment of Renown, the Skaven one, which has the unit of Scourgers, the Scourger Hero, and a Rattling Warp Blaster. So see if we can add some shooting to Nurgle. That might be something that they don't normally have, so hopefully that's going to help. And then we're running Primal Energy, just figuring I can heal stuff, and Jaws is still really good. So yeah, see how it goes.
Awesome. Well, I am playing the Soulblight Gravelords today as chosen and voted on by our channel members. They wanted to see this, and I've been really excited to get the Gravelords out again. Namely, I love my cavalry, I love the vampires, so we got 20 Blood Knights on the table today, 2 big units of 10. They are both in Prince Vordry's regiment. He is my general, and he obviously synergizes with them super well, giving out those vampire buffs that we were used to from last edition. And then also in the regiment is a unit of 10 Direwolves, just for some chaff and bodies on board. And then I have a second regiment with the Bloodseeker Palanquin. Not a very common take right now, but huge synergy obviously with vampires. Giving +1 attack once per battle can be devastating with something like a unit of Blood Knights. And then the Palanquin also has both my enhancements, Lash the Sire to give me a D6 move with something, and then the Orb of Enchantment to make an enemy hero strike last once per battle. And in a regiment with that, I just have 2 units of 3 Fellbats. And that rounds out the army. I was 2 drops here to your 3 drops Ridge, and it allowed me to have choice of who goes first here, and because Nurgle's slow,
go first.
and I'm not too slow, we're actually going to let Uncle Ridge go first here tonight.
Why?
Yeah, why, Jordan?
Because we are so kind. And it's nice to give gifts, and we are given the gift of the first turn to Ridge. So let's jump into Nurgle turn 1.
So kind, let's go. Okay, so for my tactic, I'm just going to go for take their land, and I'm going to choose this little hut right here. Jordan has run and charge on the wolves, so that's risky going for seize the center. So yeah, that's what we're going to do for the tactic. And then in the hero phase, I'm first going to try to bring out the Emerald Life Swarm from the Great Unclean one. That's going to go off on an 8.
Let's try to unbind, and we do on a 9.
Nice. Okay, and then we will just go for Fleshy Abundance as my second spell, which I will get off with a 7.
We'll unbind it with an 8.
No, I will not. All right, that's actually going to be it for my hero phase.
And I will actually spend a command point here for magical intervention with a palanquin and try and cast the Chronespine. I have +1 to cast, so this will balance out. And that's a 9.
Nice. Okay, I will see if I can unbind it. Nope. All right, so then with that, I will go to my movement phase. I'm going to first use at the double with the 5 Blight Kings over here and just move them to take their land. Okay, so that's going to be it for my movement phase. Okay, so in my shooting phase, I'm actually just going to go for my regiment ability here, which gives me +3 inches to my range of my shooting attacks, as well as +1 to hit. And now I am going to first start with the Scouger, and he's going to put his 2 shots into the Blood Knights.
And I will use an all-out defense here.
Okay, so he is going to be 2 shots, 2s and 3s, both wounds, and this is going to be Ren 2 normally, but Ren 3 because of anti-cavalry.
So from 2s to 5s, I save 1.
Nice, so it will be D3 damage, just 1.
And I ward it.
No! So because Jordan saved it, I can't spread the lightning to the bats. I am going to also just use my Lightning Master ability, so on a 2+, I'm going to make the attack profile of the 3 Scourgers 10, so 2 up. Which they get. So then that's going to be 10 shots each for the Scourgers, and they are going to put everything into the Blood Knights as well. Okay, so this is going to be everything into them with crit 6s. So it'll be a total of 17 at Ren 2.
You'll deal 5 damage and kill 1.
Yikes. Okay, and I'm going to put all of the shots from the Warp Blaster also into them. So it's going to be 6d6 plus 3. 1s to me, I do take a mortal back. So I will take 3 mortal wounds on it. So it's going to be 7 at Rend 1.
3 are going to go through there. Wards. We'll save 1, take 2 more damage, kill 1 more Blood Knight.
Weary of their foes' devastating cavalry, the Maggotkin of Nurgle remain reserved, but put some ranged pressure on the vampires with the help of their allied assistants. Okay, that is going to be all my shooting phase, and that is going to be the turn. So, was thinking I was going to do more damage popping all my stuff. Made some good saves on the Blood Knights. The Ren 2 against Cavalry was pretty big here, like being able to do all that damage. Yeah, but he made some good saves, so I only killed a couple. And like I said at the beginning, I didn't want to go for Seize, so I had to go for Take Their Land here. So I'll get 1 for my home, 2 for each of those, so 5 plus 4 for the tactics. So I will still get 9 here, which is obviously good turn 1. Good start, decent turn, and we'll see what Jordan can do back to.
Yeah, it's vampire time, and we're going to jump into Soulblight turn 1. Okay, so my turn. I'm going to go for take the flanks for my battle tactic this turn. So I have a unit within 6 inches of each battlefield edge and not wholly within my territory. And then I'm going to start off with the Bloodseeker Palanquin using the Lash of the Sire on Prince Vordry. It will go off and he will move 5 inches. And then Vordry is going to lead off the casting, going for Quick Blood. Get that on a 7, 8 because of my sub-faction.
So I'll try to unbind, you got it.
Alright, so Prince Vordry is striking first. And then because I already have the Incarnate out, I don't actually have anything to cast with my Palanquin. So then I'm just going to spend a command point to rally my Blood Knights. And we only heal the wound on them, unfortunately. And that's it for my hero phase, so I'm going to get into movement. And that's going to be it for my movement this turn.
I will try to redeploy the unit of 5 Blight Kings, or just 2.
And I do have some shooting with Vordry, but because he ran, I don't. So into charges, and we're going to lead things off with my big unit of Blood Knights over here. They're going to get a 4. And then the Blood Knights that went into your Blight Kings do get to do impact mortals because they're infantry, and I'll do 2.
Okay, pad forward, take them both.
And then leading into combat, I am going to go with that unit of Blood Knights first into the Blight Kings, and I will spend my all-out attack here.
Yeah, I'm going to do for my all-out defense.
The Blood Knights wipe out the unit of Blight Kings, then the Plague Drones deal 5 damage to the Incarnate. The Incarnate fights back and kills a single drone, then the next unit of Blood Knights easily finishes off the demons.
And then at the end of the turn, because Vordrai is a Saint of Slaughter, he's going to use his ability to buff a vampire unit, obviously going on the Blood Knights who killed the unit, and he's going to give them +1 damage.
And then at the end of the turn, I actually can try to disease you because you're within 6 of my tree. So on a 4+, yes, you are diseased, sir, and you will take nothing. Good old Nurgle.
Rejuvenated by their first taste of combat, the Soulblight Gravelords grow stronger through their success, and look to keep the momentum building as the battle progresses.
Okay, so Soulblight turn 1 was pretty effective in terms of doing everything we wanted to do, no surprises. I will score only 7 points here for my 1 objective of my home, and then the 1 flank for 3 points, 4 points for the battle tactic. The big things I wanted to do this turn was get one of my units of Blood Knights buffed up and complete a battle tactic. Achieved both of those things. Also took a unit of 5 Blight Kings down, which is pretty handy. And while I could have pushed the Blood Knights into the center, taking on your Blight Kings, again, I would be taking hits back there. Also have taken cover and fire from your shooting. So right now, that position they're in keeps them a little safer. I'm dropping points early, but now you're kind of gonna have the decision of where to put your units. And I'm trying to stretch you out because obviously if I can, pick out your stuff unit by unit, that works out a lot better for me.
Yeah, there was a world where I countercharged these guys. Now, I won +1 from the Lord of Plagues, so it was a 9. So I also would get +1 attack on the charge, so I just wouldn't have been able to get all the defense. And those 5 Blight Kings could have survived. Being on a 3-up to 2-up -2 to 4, I could have possibly survived with them, which would have been big.
Yeah.
So I didn't go for the counter charge.
It's so easy to fail, even an 8-inch charge.
Yeah, but it's me, so I obviously should go for that because I can get that lucky charge.
And you have Skaven in the list.
And Skaven's in the list, so I can't believe I didn't, but...
Yeah, but obviously, things going well right now. In the early stages, we did drop points though, so I am down a couple points, which is notable, but that's just free CP. So
yes.
With that, we can go into priority for round 2, Ridge.
Yep.
That's a 2.
2 for me as well.
You win ties.
Okay, so I'm just going to take the turn, and we're going to go into Nurgle turn 2. Okay, so I'm going to go for Do Not Waver, so just have 2 of my units fight and nothing die. And then in the hero phase, I'm going to first go for Cloying Quagmire, and we're going to do that from the Great Unclean one. He's going to roll a 3 and fail that. Okay, and then for my second spell, the Great Unclean one is going to go for Fleshy Abundance on himself, which we're going to get off on a 7.
We'll try to unbind, but you did it.
So that's going to be it for my hero phase. All right, so I will just go into movement. So I'm going to try to roll the 4-up to bring back the demon unit at half strength, which will be the drones. So see if we get that. We do. So the Ghoul brings back 2 plague drones. Okay, cool. So that's going to be it for my movement phase.
I will spend a command point here to redeploy my Direwolves for 1 inch.
All right, so we got lots of shooting in Nurgle, and not just the Skaven units. So the Great Unclean one has D3 plus 3 attacks for 6.
The Great Unclean One kills 3 dire wolves, while the Skaven combine to take down just a single Blood Knight through all-out defense. And the Warp Blaster also blows itself up, which is on brand.
Okay, that's going to be it for shooting. And I will go into charges. So we'll go first with the big unit of Blight Kings. I am +1 because I do have the little Lord of Plagues there. So that's going to be 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, and then the Lord of Plagues just rolls a 4 plus 1, which is 5. Okay, so he actually only gives +1 to charge to Putrid Blight King units, so I'm going to have to re-roll that. Let's see if I can roll a 5. We do. So CP, he is in. So I started the combat phase. I do have an ability from the Lord of Plagues. So the 7-fold slaughter on a 2-up, I give them +1 attack, which I do get. I am just going to go first with the Putrid Blight Kings, put everything into the Blood Knights, and I'm going to do all the attack.
The Blight Kings take down 3 Blood Knights, who fight back but deal no damage. Then the Lord of Plagues deals another 2 damage to the Knights.
So, alright, so then the end of the turn, that is going to be that, and I'm going to do my disease. Now, they are still diseased, so it will be a D3 +1 on a not a 1. So, cool, that just does nothing.
And then the Blood Knights, because they do fight, they do get to heal, because they're vampires, and it obviously heals the disease away first.
Responding in force, the Maggotkin of Nurgle dig their heels in as they look to defend their position, hoping to slow the pace of the battle to allow their pestilence and disease time to do its work.
Okay, so that is going to be it for my turn. Made the charges. That was the big thing to get my tactic. Blood Knights are just, the 3-up save, always having all defense. Now, the Putrid Blight Kings only have 1 rend, so my shooting, I did not get nearly as many shots this time, so I didn't really put through. The Skaven Warband has not been pulling its weight in damage.
They killed probably 3 or 4 Blood Knights, so not bad.
I was definitely hoping for more, especially the Rat Blaster. Obviously, we know it's not a great model. It's only Rend 1. It ended up destroying itself here in Skaven fashion, of course, but it's not doing much against them. But I put through an extra attack with the Blight, the Lord of Plagues as well. So that was 5 attacks. It was 50 attacks from that unit, which is bonkers. That's so many. But again, Rend 1.
2-up save after all defense.
Yes, so back to 3s. So I left 3 alive. I've failed the disease both times, so I haven't got any mortals with that, but I'm still going to get my tactic, which is obviously the good thing. I rolled the 4 for the flies. The only decision point was if I put the Guo in, which I decided to re-roll the Lord of Plagues, so I knew I was going to get my tactic. And I decided to stay in bodyguard range. I did get the -1 to wound spell off, so that's till my next turn. So he is sitting there.
And I think the big decision point for you was failing the charge with the bugs meant even if the duo killed these guys, you can't get onto the objective because I'm blocking it off.
Yes. But obviously I was thinking power through as well, because he could easily do 10, 12 damage. That's in right in his wheelhouse. Leave 2 alive.
But if I have 1 wound left, I can block the duo's base.
Yes.
So would have taken a bit to get on.
You're right.
Without the bugs getting in there.
Yeah. Yeah, so decided not to do it, which I think is probably the better play here. Because again, I'm going to have the bodyguard. So that's that. I'm going to get 3 for primary, 4 for the tactics squad. So I will score 7. And it's going to be it.
All right, let's head into Soulblight Gravelords turn 2. All right, so into my turn, I'm going to go for Do Not Waver as my battle tactic here. So similarly, fight with 2 units and have none slain. Then my Palanquin is going to use Lash of the Sire on Prince Vordry, but it fails, so no free movement for him. Then the Palanquin is going to try and cast Prison of Grief onto your Grand Clean one, and fail it on a 4. Then Prince Vordry is going to try and cast Quick Blood on himself, which he does on a 13. So that's going to give him strikes first. And that is it for my hero phase. So into movement. I'll start off by retreating my Blood Knights and suffer 3 mortal wounds, but ward 1. And that's going to be it for my movement phase. So then I'll do some shooting with Prince Vordry, and he's going to put his shots into your Plague Bearers for just 2, and now I'll be on 4s and 3s. 1 hit, nothing. Good talk. Now into the fun phase. We're going to go into charges, and we're going to start off with Prince Vordry. And the Blood Knights will get to do Impact Mortals to the Plague Bearers for 2.
Take them both, kill 1.
And then at the start of combat, we have a few fun things to do. We're going to start with Vordry's Snapping Jaws Rampage into the Great Unclean One. That's going to be 4 mortal wounds.
Ooh, nice. So 5s, I take 3.
And then the Palanquin's can use its once per game ability to give +1 attack to all vampires wholly within 12 inches. And that's the Promising Concoction. And then it's also going to use its artifact, the Orban of Enhancement, to once per battle make an enemy hero strike last. And I think this is the best hero to use it on.
Yes. I guess I'm just going to do the strike last on the Blood Knights on a 4-up, which I fail anyways.
All right, and then into combat, Vordry does have to go first. And he's going to put all his attacks into the Great Unclean One and go for the all-out attack here.
I'm going to do all defense.
Prince Vordry deals 6 damage to the Great Unclean One. The Palanquin deals 3 more. Then the Plague Bearers deal 2 damage to the Blood Knights. The Blood Knights fight next and finish off the Great Unclean One. Then the Plague Drones use all-out attack and kill 2 more dire wolves.
And then at the end of my turn, I am going to use a CP to power through with my Blood Knights, dealing some mortals to the Plague Bearers for 2.
Upward. Take them both.
And because of the Blood Knight's move ability, I am going to get to move through the Plague Bearers. And that does bring them into Prince Vordry's range, which is going to allow him to then give them the buff of +1 attack as well. And then because they're vampires, they're going to get to heal because they fought this turn. They'll heal 1 wound.
So only the Blood Knights are in combat, so I'll just infect them and then deal 2 mortals to them. 3 because of my sub-effect.
So wards, you deal 2 and you do kill a Blood Knight.
Using the skill and cunning that's been honed for centuries, the vampires of the Soulblight Gravelords make serious headway and earn a big advantage as they rid the realm of the greater demon.
Okay, Soulblight Gravelords, turn 2. It's always fun when you get to do the cute things you build into an army, like even the Palanquin, its enhancement using the strike slash on the Gulogs, it came up big. +1 attack, counteracted the bodyguard.
The -3 OC.
Also, actually mattered. It took me this objective, which in the grand scheme didn't matter because of the power through.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Even the power through was fun. And in the case that I didn't get it or didn't have the room or something, or didn't take down the duo, it's good to throw bodies on that objective. We're sitting in obviously a pretty good position after that, taking down the big guy and running away with these Blood Knights so that they didn't die in combat and I can start rallying them back and be a nuisance. And so I do store the battle tactic for 4 points and then obviously get the 6 primary for a 10-point turn here, Ridge. Yeah, this showing the still priority target, like incredible on melee units. And when you have to have like a Guo or something that's your big general, you get the -1 attack, but you also get prior target on you. So +2 to wound, +1 to hit. Being on 2s and 2s still, with 3 damage on them is pretty bonkers. For sure. So like Archaon, Techless, Kairos, all those guys.
All the guys that have to be general, like guys like that.
But let's go into Pyro for round 3.
Yep.
That's on the rocks for me.
I got a 2.
That's a 2 as well.
We've all rolled 2s this entire game. Okay, so there's definitely a world where I could give away the turn here and probably be okay, but I have a tactic that I know I can do, and I want to try to score and see how much I can kill. So I'm just going to take the turn. So yeah, we're going to jump into Maggotkin of Nurgle turn 3. Okay, so I am going to go for Ordain Charge, and I'm going to choose the point with the direwolves on it. I have no spelly spells, so that is going to be it for my hero phase.
I will spend a command point to rally my Blood Knights, the smaller unit, and we will bring another guy back.
All right, I will just go into movement. Okay, that's going to be it for my movement phase. So I'm just going to put all of the Scourgers into the big unit of Blood Knights.
And I'll go for the all-out defense here.
So it's going to be 10 at Ren 2.
2s to 4s, you kill Blood Knight.
The Galvanier is also going to shoot them. 1 goes through, Ren 3.
Goes through.
D3 for 2 mortals, or 2 damage.
Goes through, take 2.
And then, because he hit something, I do splash damage. Nice, finally. Dragon takes 2, and the Palanquin takes 2.
Wards. They both suffer in both.
Let's go! That's it for my shooting phase. And I will go to charging. So we'll go with the big Blight King unit. They're gonna roll just a 3. So I did roll a 3, but I do have the +1 to charge still from the Lord of Plague, so the 4 does make that in. Okay, so that's going to be it for the charge phase. And then in the combat phase, so I can still do the 7-fold slaughter ability on a 2-up to give +1 attack to the Blight Kings. But I rolled a 1, damn it. So I will just activate first with the Blight Kings. So we're going to do 5 and 5 here. So 5 are going to go into the bats and 5 into the dogs.
The Blight Kings kill 3 wolves and wipe out a unit of fell bats. Then the Blood Knights take out the Plague Bearers. The Plague Drones use all-out attack and kill another Blood Knight. Then the Dire Wolves deal 2 damage to the Scourgers, though they're finished off when the Skaven retaliate.
Okay, well now I'm not going to disease them. That was the plan. But I will just choose to spread, I guess, from the Blood Knights. So on the Vampire, the big boy, will take 2. And then the Blood Knights themselves will not take any. So just 2 to the Vampire, and he is diseased.
Vordrai will ward 1, so hope you got 3 wounds on him. And then he did not fight, but the Blood Knights did, so they'll get rid of their disease.
Nice.
Looking to spread their rot and ruin for as long as they draw a breath, the Maggotkin of Nurgle regain control of the western objective, but will need Fortune and the Grandfather to smile on them if they have any hope for victory.
So I will get my tactic here, and I'm going to get the 1 point on the side for 6 points. Pretty much knew that's what I was shooting for. There's no way I can take down these Blood Knights with the Scourgers they're doing like, some damage here and there, but you just always can auto defense, so it's like you're going 2s to 4s. And as long as you roll decent, I feel like I'm still putting through lots of shots and everything, but it's just not doing enough.
And you have taken down a good chunk of my army. Like, you've chewed through a lot, but...
Yeah. Wasn't much else I was doing with this turn. It was pretty much going to be doing this. I tried to possibly come in here. I couldn't retreat the Plague Bearers because with their only 5 move, or 4 move, I couldn't get them out. Your guy was there. So then that was a wild amount of damage these Blood Knights are on. +1 attack, +1 damage. So, yeah. And
against General's Reg.
Priority
target 2s and 2s, so...
2s and 2s was like 38 damage. It's like, okay, cool.
Gross.
So, cool, yeah. So I'll score 6.
Yeah, and that'll send us into Soulblight Gravelords, turn 3. Alright, my battle tactic is going to be take their land. I'm going to do that over here on this little hut. And then my Palanquin is going to try and use Lash of the Sire on Prince Vordrai. It does. He's moving 1 inch. Then I'll spend a command point to rally my Blood Knights again. And fail to return a model, but we will heal the wound. Then the Palanquin is going to try and cast Prison of Grief on your Blight Kings. It will do so on an 8, and that makes them strike last in combat. And because of that, Prince Vordrai is going to try and cast Vile Transference onto your clan rats. The Scourgers. And that'll go off with an 11. And I'll actually do 2 mortal wounds on 6-ups.
You do kill 1.
Which also means Vordrai gets to heal, and he heals for 3 back to full. And that is going to be it for my hero phase, so just into movement.
So before you do that, I am going to, because you're mean and killed the Scourger, I'm going to try to bring 1 back. So 4s. No, I only bring 2. So I heal the wound.
And then I will spend a command point to return a unit of 2 Fellbats. And then into shooting, we're going to have Prince Vordrai put his shots into your rats. Mm-hmm. He's going to have 2 on 3s and 3s. That's going to be 1 at Ren 2 for 2 damage.
You do too.
The rally kept another one alive.
Yes. I'm just going to covering fire the 2 Scourgers and try to hurt the Palanquin. So it's going to be a big 18. So 7 at range 1.
5s. We will say 4.
Nice.
Wards. Save one more. Take 2 damage. And then into charges, we're going to start with Prince Vordry. He'll get in on a 5. The Blood Knights. And they'll do Impact Mortals for 2.
5s. Take 2.
Then the Palanquin makes it in as well. And then in combat, Prince Vordry is going to do his rampage to try and do some mortals to the Blight Kings, but he fails. And I'm going to start off combat with my Blood Knights.
The Blood Knights wipe out the Plague Drones, though when Prince Vordry and the other Blood Knights attack the Blight Kings, they only suffer 3 casualties thanks to all-out defense. The Palanquin deals 2 damage to the Scourgers, then finally the Blight Kings get to fight and are able to take down the Palanquin.
And then at the end of my turn, Vordry is going to use his healing because he fought to get rid of the disease.
I'm going to first end of turn 4 up, try to disease the horsey guys, which I do. And then I'm going to choose to spread that disease from them to Vordry. So Vordry will take 3 and the horsies will not take any.
Alright, so Vordry takes 3. Alright, so that's it for my turn. Again, just keeping the pressure on. I didn't win that engagement necessarily. Having lost a unit, lost probably more value than I killed, but it's just keeping you pinned, keeping you tied up there. Not letting you really push to anything else. The Blood Knights cleared themselves out of the bunch, so now they're pretty handily on my next turn going to be coming in and helping clear things out, so...
Yeah, the Blight Kings are so resilient. Like, you did... Vordry, obviously, any big monster can whiff.
Yeah.
So, like, he didn't do too much, but...
No all attack right now.
Same as them, 3-up save to 2-up save. So, Ren 2 doesn't in the 5-up board. It's like, we know they're durable, but it's like...
but noteworthy, yes, I do get the tactic, obviously, to take their land, and I hold enough objectives for 10
to
points.
Get 10, yeah.
Into Prio for round 4, then.
Yep.
Ridge bumped mine into a 5.
BattleBots.
So thanks for the assist, and here, I'm just going to take the turn and try and seal the deal.
Yep.
So, Soulblight Gravelords, turn 4. So I have no battle tactic here, but Prince Vordry is going to try and cast Prison of Grief on the Blight Kings again, but failed that on a 5. And we did forget to take off the Incarnate, but that would have disappeared once the Palanquin went down.
I would obviously just try to rally and see if I get any of them back. I actually don't even get a Scourger back.
But otherwise, I'm just going to head into movement. And Prince Vordry can't shoot in combat, so we'll do his breath for 5 attacks into the Blight Kings, obviously.
Nice.
That'll be 1 at rank 2
Go, sir.
for 2 damage.
Take 2.
All right, and then just charges, and it's just the Blood Knights right now. For a casual 12.
Nice.
And they will do Impact Mortals for 2 into the Blight Kings.
Take 1, kills them.
And then I'm going to lead off combat there, going for the all-out attack. I'm plus 1 wound on the charge, so it'll be 2s and 2s.
Yep, I might as well go for the all-out defense.
2s and 2s. That's going to be 18 attacks at rank 2, 3 damage each.
Nice, so I'll be 2 4s. 5, so 30 damage. So 18. Exactly to the wound.
And with that, that's actually the only combat because obviously the other units didn't charge and there's nothing in there anymore, so the Blood Knights did enough. I'm officially only fighting rats. Oh no, you still have your Lord of Blights or whatever. But you have more rats than you do Nurgle models now, so that's a good sign.
And I can do some mortals at the end of the turn, but at this point, I don't think it's...
Yeah, really here, obviously, it's kind of a inevitable end over the past couple turns, but here, sealing the deal with the Blood Knights.
Yeah.
And really highlighting, if you can get a couple of those buffs early with Vordry, that unit just becomes insane.
Yeah.
Extra attack, extra damage. Even when they're not on the charge, they were doing incredible work.
Yeah.
And having a 3-up save on top of that makes them pretty reliable.
Yeah.
Plus 2 damage on the charge. We saw the synergies. They all came together in this game. And
that turn 2 or 3 or whatever, when the Palanquin got the +1 attack, the minus OC, both of those kind of working perfectly in that turn. And just the amount of damage with General's Reg. Like we said, it's so insane. Like I was -1 to wound with the big Great and Clean one, but +1 to hit and wound, and plus 2 to wound.
Yeah.
So
And my +1 attack negated your -1.
yes, and 3 damage. Like that was wild how much damage they did. Which I could have probably put the ghoul back here and just screened it with the plague bears, but the same thing is going to happen the turn after.
At some point, yeah, you can't just keep hiding.
No, and I tried to go make a little bit of a play for your home objective, or just in case to get my tactic, which I ended up getting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nurgle's pretty rough spot. The Skaven Warband was really cool. It was awesome. I've played a bunch of Scourgers, obviously, in Skaven, which they're much better. But the regiment was pretty cute. It had some cool tricks. It gives some shooting to Nurgle.
Yeah, and Chaos Armies that don't normally have much, so...
Yeah, and I thought against the Cav, I'm like, this is going to be... You know, I did okay rolling here and there, but just the 3-up save, even though it's Ren 2 against them, it's like...
Yeah,
it's hard to chew through
still
them.
Killing 2 or 3 rats a turn, or two or 3 of my knights a turn.
Yeah, you can rally them and just...
Not enough to do it on their own, obviously. Yeah.
No.
We saw the turn the Blood Knights got into the... the Blight Kings got into the Blood Knights. They did do a ton of work as well.
Yeah.
But again, just 3-up saves. This is an army with 3 big kind of cannonballs of big strong units, and they can
not enough though, because it's all Rend 1. Like it was 50 attacks, 2s and 3s.
That
normally would kill a lot of
but
things.
yeah, again, 3-up saves here on everything. Good damage on the charge.
All defense. Yeah.
The thing this army is susceptible to is obviously being not on the charge, but that's where Prince Vordry's buffs help a little bit more.
Yeah.
Of allowing a unit to still be competent off the charge.
Yeah, and Nurgle's just too slow. You're able to dictate all the combats and. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bloody one, but a good one here for the vampires. And that pretty much wraps things up for us. So, guys, with that, we'll say goodbye. A big thank you for watching, and don't forget, if you enjoy our content and want to help support the channel, you can do that and get extra videos every week by joining our channel membership on YouTube. But either way, we look forward to seeing you in the next Battle Report.
Have a good week, everybody.